And yeah, back out again for another beachcomb. There's the neck of a ginger beer. Shame it's not a whole one. One of these days I'll find a whole one here. You mark my words. So yeah, so on we go. Yeah, the low tides at the moment are really not very low at all. Today it's 1.10 meters. So basically what that means is that there's not a lot of beach exposed. Ideally what we're looking for good beach combing and metal detecting on the beach is what they call well, going to low and super low tides. So when it's around about probably about 0.3 of a meter and below, even when it goes into minuses, so it can sometimes go into minus 0.5 or minus 0.5 of a meter. Those are ideal situations for beach combing and beach detecting. But yeah, that's basically why I've not been doing a lot of detecting at the moment, because the tides just haven't been very low at all. And it's not for want of trying. I was actually out yesterday and I got to where I wanted to detect, and there literally was about 2 feet of beach available. So I thought I'd just bring you on another walk today. A bit of pottery there, look. Don't know what that was from. Nice blue flowers. So yeah, I just thought we'd have a wander today and see what we can see and see what we can find. Some more pottery there, look. Just plain white. Possibly another stoneware bottle or jar. Alright, well, on we go. Let's see what we can see today. You probably see this here. This is another one of the fishiers here. Just goes up and around. I think you can just about see that. And yeah, these fishiers or traps, as they were designed for, they were in operation from around about the 15th century, so around about the 1400s, and they were actually owned by landowners that were adjacent to this section of the beach, and the landowner held the rights and employed people to fish, and the fish would either be used to feed the rich families, or some of it was sold on for profits. So yeah, the other fish here, the first one that I showed you, is actually entirely covered by the sea at the moment because it's not that far out. So yeah, again, just to give you an idea. And there are, like I said, I think there's the remains. Some of them are more visible than others, but there are remains of around about 6 fishiers in this area. And again, they were owned by different families, different landowners owned them, and they fell into disrepute. They stopped using them in the mid 1800s, by all accounts. Why that was, I don't know, but maybe the commercial supply of fish had made it no longer profitable, or so yes, there you go. Well, here I am in my little bottle stopper area. There's the first 2. Yep. McEwen's by the looks of it. Yep, a McEwen's and a War Grade. Got the dimple out of it. Yep. So that's the first 2 of today. You, as I said before, with beachcombing, your eye tends to get. There's another one. Look, tends to get drawn to things, shapes that are not natural, if you know what I mean, that are sort of man-made shapes. They tend to stand out quite well. Now, once you get used to it, of course, and it doesn't take long to get the hang of it if you do it regularly enough. So on we go. Let's see what else we can find today. Well, I just got a couple more stoppers, and there's another one. You see how they sit up sometimes? That's just the tide working its magic, and it sits them up. That's an A for Aitken, I think. A Falkirk. Well worn. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, excuse me. Well, 3 stoppers, a couple of bar ones there with the deep holes in. A Riley's patent. A Vauxhall badge for my car. And we've got what are you? No, I don't know what that is. A nut of some description. There's another stopper. That one's done, of Glasgow. You see that? Oh! Well, I've just found that. It's a Slazenger ball. It's hard. I don't know if that's from a set of bowls or bowls or. I suspect it's the jack from a set of bowls. But, yeah, not a lot today. So I'm a far way out from the shoreline now. The sea's just there, and it's funny how different parts of the beach. Again, if I'm up on the beach at Helensburgh there, then I found antique bottles before now, just rolling about in the surf, but here it would seem there's very little. I guess that's just again one of those things of beachcombing, is that certain areas and certain types of item tend to end up. And then in other areas like this you get absolutely nothing. So of course the tide has turned and it's on its way back in. Again, another thing to keep your eye on is sections like this where you see these raised banks. You've got this water in between. There's the sea just there. Now the tide's coming in, but it really is quite shallow here, and you've really to keep a very close eye that you don't get trapped on one of these sandbanks. I'm just working my way along. I've just seen an object down here, so give me 2 seconds to get to it, and we'll have a look, see if it's anything important. And we're just coming up to it now. The sea's coming in pretty fast. That just looks like an old canister of some description. Yeah, an old piece of pipe or an old bucket even, maybe. Some life in there, some mussels in there, so those guys seem quite happy, so I'm just going to head inland now. Keep the sea behind me so we don't get cut off. There's no disputing. I'm very lucky to live here.